There are people who actually at one point in their relationship find out, there are a couple of red flags in here, or, it's not going the right way, and
Yeah.
they go for a breakup. And breakups are terrible sometimes.
Must be
It's
very
very
hard.
traumatic.
Very traumatic.
How do you heal from breakups? If you've been through a breakup, how do you heal?
Like Pope Benedict once said, there's nothing as close to the Holy Trinity as the marriage, as a family.
Oh, that's, yeah.
That's profound. No human experience is as close to the Trinity than a family in itself, because there's a father. Like in the Trinity, you have a father and you have a son, and father makes a gift of himself to the son. Son receives it and reflects back to the father as a gift. And then they become mutual gift to each other, and they become one flesh. And the love between them is another person, the Holy Spirit. And that God, who is three person, is now says, we will create man in our own image and likeness. And he creates man and woman. Not just man and woman. Why? He wants man to love just the way he loves. Right? So that's why man becomes a gift to the woman becomes a gift to the man, and there comes from them new life. Isn't this a perfect model in a human setting? You understand? So we image the love of the Father, love of God in our marriages. It's profound. It's big. That's why I said we should approach this with a lot of respect and understand. It's not child's play. Yeah, I get married in order that I can raise a family, and that family will have children. Just imagine, it's a whole generation that you today are raising. It's a responsibility.
Oof,
it's not just child's play.
So the step you take is a huge one.
It's a huge one.
So I think the first thing would be like understanding what is marriage. Very important, right? So
right.
If you ask me, right, how do you prepare for marriage? Now, there's a big question, right, to youngsters. Those who are in a very young age, right, they have this attraction, and yes, they by default, they have this earning to become a gift to the other person. Now, that's where the education is important, right? So we need to share this good news from a very tender age, I would say. Like, they should understand this is not child's play. They should understand that this is a big project. This is a project of lifetime, and I should understand what marriage, like, it is like, I'm just reminded by a quote from Scott Hahn's book. Marriage is humanly impossible. That is why God raised it to a sacrament. So it is not easy for two different persons from two different circumstances coming together and binded as one flesh. Not easy. So it requires tremendous effort from our side and the grace from God. So that will take some time, and we need to train ourselves to become that person.
Romance, when you talk about romance, now you're talking about actual living as a family.
Yeah.
That's totally different from this romantic phase where you only see the good of the other person, what is nice and bubbly and cheerful and interesting. But then it's only when you get to know deeper, you see the real colors, the real character, the character flaws and issues and challenges and mistakes and so you see all the reality becomes evident to you. Then, if what drives you is your attraction, you're immediately put off because he doesn't meet your expectations now, because he painted a picture or she painted a picture which was very attractive. But then once you get to know, it's not that same picture anymore, So we get to see what is projected, especially social media. These days, a lot of relationship is picked up from social media, where you see only what they project to you, not what they are. And some of them even pursue their relationship and they become so bonded they've not even met each other, they've not seen each other.
So what
Yeah.
are they actually attracted to? They're attracted to a fake image that they have put up
Yeah.
in their profile.
It's just
right?
an image.
You
yeah.
don't know this person at all.
It's something like, you go to watch a movie and the heroine is so beautiful and you're so attracted and then you somehow manage to marry. Just imagine. Who are you marrying? You're marrying the image that you saw on the
Portrayed in the
screen.
movie,
It's
yeah.
not the real person.
True.
So let's say if, as you said, if marriage is now my priority, let's say marriage is my priority, and I wish to pursue someone. So nowadays we have so many options around us. We have matrimonial sites, we have dating apps. I mean, when I just open my Spotify, I get so many. I guess they figure out from the age or something that the details that you've given. There are so many of these sites that pop up, and
Spotify also.
yeah, on
The
Spotify.
music app.
Yeah,
Spotify, what?
yeah, they have advertisements.
Advertisement.
So yeah,
Advertisement for?
for the matrimonial sites, it's like find your spouse.
Really?
Yeah, this year.
Okay, you have
Ads.
advertisements coming in.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
No, basically
yeah.
based on your age.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
They
they
figure out
prefer-
your
and
age.
your
and then,
preferences in
they keep
music, right?
reminding you it's time to get married.
Okay.
Basically, they are learning from you. Who are you? And I would say.
So these are dating sites.
Yeah, there
or
are dating.
matrimonial sites.
Like we have dating apps wherein you find people to date. Then we have matrimonial sites, which are totally different thing.
Okay.
Talking about matrimonial sites, I guess it's just I feel often there is no difference between a matrimonial site and an Amazon shopping platform because
There you
you
go.
have all the details in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
The size, the height,
The-
how much.
The features, and the
everything.
warranty.
The only difference I personally feel is like on Amazon you have reviews of people who bought it and said,
are
okay,
there
this
discounts?
is not good.
Are there discounts? Coupons?
Yeah.
But here you need to find out, you need to meet the
Amazon
person
Super Sale, Summer
and
Sale.
find out.
I mean, this is absolutely right. You hit the nail.
I'm not like
There,
personally.
I think I think when you say, I think we should address this one question, right? When is the right time for me to look for a spouse? I think we have not addressed that question, right?
Yeah.
When is the right time? If I ask you, look for an answer, right? From my side, as a man, I can enter into this process of finding a spouse when I am ready to become a father, when I'm ready to become a husband, when I have the capacity and potential to take care of my spouse and the kids who are coming out of that, marriage, right? That is when you're ready for marriage. And for girls, when they can ready to become a
Yeah.
mother.
Nowadays, nobody wants to be a mother.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
that is something I think if you see the campus guys and girls who are entering into a relationship, do they have this perspective like I should be a mother, I should be open to become a mother, to take care of my kids, to take care of my husband, to take up the responsibility of a household? No, all they are aspiring behind is a romantic relationship, exotic vacations, and some surprises, gifts, emotional fulfillments, and what not, right? This is its expectation.
But there are people who say maybe we'll not have children for like maybe the first 5 years of marriage.
Then I would say they are not ready for marriage.
So let's say you're thinking about marriage.
Yes.
Marriage is your priority,
Right.
and it has reached a point wherein you need to start thinking about finding someone. So what would be the first? I mean, there are so many moves that you can make. There are dating apps, there are matrimonial sites. So let's talk about dating first. I guess dating is a little bit of a taboo, at least in some cultural context, where people feel maybe dating is not the right way. Matrimonial sites are the only
Okay.
way. So I mean, how do you go about it? Like, if you
Okay.
want to pursue someone.
Let me just want to clarify when you what is dating and those things. So let's be clear on what we're talking about. So you say, I feel I'm ready now. So I am assuming that would include your own realization that you are now ready to become a mother, to raise a child, raise a family. Okay, now you're mentally, emotionally, intellectually, economically, all now getting ready to pursue that. You take up that responsibility. It involves, it involves sacrifice.
This to reaching this state is not easy also.
It's not easy. I mean, that's why it's important. So we need to have all these, we need to know what is marriage, what am I getting into. It's very important. Otherwise, you will run away when you see the the demands of marriage. So when you know that, okay, now so I say I know all these things. I'm getting ready. I'm ready now. So what is the next step? So you need to now find out, who do I become a gift to? My whole life now, I need to commit to somebody until I die. Who is that person? Now you have a choice. Nobody will put somebody in your throat, onto you. Nobody will force you. You have the freedom. God has given you freedom to choose. Yeah. Okay? So how do you exercise your freedom there? Now, I would say, God has not only given you the freedom and the reasoning and the capacity to know, discern, find out. He's also given you a family. He's also given you friends. He's given you a community. Given you a lot of inputs. There's a lot of teachings. There's scripture. Everything is around you. The saints who have lived before, and a lot of good advices. And then we also know where this is all going, because the ultimate aim of marriage is union with God. I don't know if we have talked about it, but we come from God, we go back to God, so that we become one with God.
And marriage is one way to it, actually.
It's a path.
It's like we've talked about vocations. So we have different vocations. You can serve your life as a single person, and you help others, you offer your life in service of the others, so that you get everybody reach their destiny. So it's called a singlehood, where you become a servant of the kingdom of God, being single. It's not because you hate marriage or you have an issue with marriage, no, that's not the reason why you choose to be a single. It's because you feel the call that God is calling you to dedicate your life to help others to reach their destination. So it's a missionary work that you're entering into. The second option is, as men can be priests, women can be nuns and celibates and sisters, and so that's another call. It's a great call, to dedicate your life for the service of the church. So you can guide people, take them, and also you can, as priests, you can minister the sacraments to them. And then you have the wonderful married life. They're all good. Each one has equally their own challenges. Yeah. It's not only a challenge, these are all opportunities for you to work out your challenges. Basically, if you're all selfish, because we have fallen. We were all, we created in God's own image, but we goofed up.
We know what happened.
Yeah.
The fall.
In the fall.
We know the story of Genesis.
Yeah, we chose ourselves as gods. We rejected God, so we became so selfish. Everything in our lives is now driven by selfishness and self-centeredness, and so that's the biggest struggle we all have. So even when I think about a spouse, I'm thinking what is beneficial for me. I am thinking, how can I use that person's abilities and then looks and characters for my own good? That's where it becomes a little tricky and difficult, but that's not the call. It's just the other way. How can I become a gift to the other? So now you're not discerning, who can I get married and then be happy? No, you're thinking, who do I become a gift to? But then, as you mentioned, these days matrimonial websites, they come just like Amazon website, you have a lot of features mentioned. It'll tell you the color, the height, the weight, the salary, and the aspirations, the goods and the bads, and
Yeah, the only thing that's missing out is the reviews. On Amazon you have reviews.
Birds are not mentioned in matrimony.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
you need to meet the
You're
person
only
and then
telling
get to know.
your
correct. So you only
Goodness.
you only
Oh,
get
yeah.
to see.
That's true.
That's true. But then
the bird will be revealed after marriage.
right,
You're
and
exposed.
I'm assuming the dating sites, are they for simply just this romantic relationship? They must. It's not marriage
I mean,
that
people twist
people
it.
might get.
Yeah, they
I
manipulate
understand,
it. Yeah.
but then these are basically meant for this temporary
Yeah.
relationship.
Pseudo relationship.
Yeah, much like a hookup culture. I mean, basically, you get to see somebody who's interested
Yeah.
in your looks and the way you have. I mean, we just spent a few
it's like
days. with-
time pass.
No,
kind
there
of
are
entertainment.
actually two extremes to it. Like there
Yeah.
are people who simply,
There
want
are
to hook up. Yeah.
Probably good
yeah, and
good
there are
websites
people
as
who,
well.
who are there
right.
with the right intention also. Yeah.
Okay, correct. So we need to choose which is a good platform for me. I mean, you should be very clear as to who am I looking for and what is my intention of getting married. Do I have the right intentions? Because the right intention will lead you to bliss, to heaven. Because a family today is a miniature of heaven. So you begin to experience something of heaven, and then you know that you will experience heaven on that day. You're looking at a matrimonial site or however, whatever it is. Now, sometimes it can even come through your friends or through your
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah.
They can bring in a proposal. Hey, what about this? So that's good. I mean, you don't have to exclude your parents.
Yeah.
I've seen youngsters saying, I don't want my parents to, say anything about my future spouse. I will find my spouse. I will decide. Well, you can do that. I mean, there's absolutely nothing. But then what about help? I mean, because you're in your 20s, your world is very small. But then how about somebody who knows the other person a little better and say, why don't you look at this side also? Why don't you see this? Do you see this side of this man? Is it, just think about that. And also you're going to live together. It's a cultural, there's a lot of things, families, the family, the culture, the faith, your
Yeah.
faith, because you're going to raise your children in faith.
The moral
So,
standards.
Yeah.
everything. So it's very important. And actually, your family can help you a lot in this process. But they don't take decisions for you. They shouldn't take decisions for you. You should take the
So-
decision. They can help. And
One thing I want to add there in this
Yeah,
process
go
is in this looking after the other. I mean, looking for other person, right? So the intention is very clear. Looking for marriage. Now the challenge would be like most of the people are saying, right? When you spend more time, there's a chance for attachment. So that should not happen actually, because this is a very initial phase of it, right? You're just checking on each other, just trying out, the beliefs, the moral standards. You're just basically, trying to understand whether this will work out.
What would be the main questions that might be discussed?
You
in
should
such-
definitely speak about your career, your aspirations, your beliefs. What is your moral standards? What are you about your family planning? All those things has to be and
I mean, whatever is important to
what
you.
is important,
Yeah.
right?
And I would say your faith life, what about your children?
Yeah.
How will you raise your children? What about our family? What about both of our families? What is our relationship between them? These are all things that we can discuss. But how many meetings do you think it is necessary for you to make that judgment whether I want to become a gift to this
I would
person?
say 2 to 3 should be more than enough,
Do
sufficient.
you agree? 2 to 3? So maybe couple of hours
Yeah, that'll work.
each day, and 3 days would be.
Now, if you go beyond that,
Yeah.
there's a high chance that you're going to develop kind of an attachment.
Because you know what, like we said, it's love. For you to love someone, you don't need to really like them. We already said that.
Yeah.
So this is not like you don't even have to pursue somebody whom you like. I mean, frankly, because marriage is a decision to love. Okay, and if you
I just want to
meet a
add one
person-
more thing, right? When you say like,
yeah.
there is no need for an attraction also.
Yeah, attraction and like I believe is I mean when you're
Ah.
attracted
But
to
you can't
something.
say that.
No, when
you
I say I
it.
like
Yeah.
this cup,
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to this cup.
Yeah, because it's an object.
But
No, it can happen
Yeah.
with your friends also, right? I'm not attracted to a friend, but I like my friend. Correct. It can work with
Okay,
persons. Also.
I
When I
believe
say
it kind
so
of
why I'm adding this attraction
Yeah,
point is right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't need to be attracted. So it is like you will get to know, you will understand that I need to put effort to love this person. I will learn from the very initial days of marriage that I will
I
put
think
effort.
attraction will happen after that. It can happen
happen.
after that.
It can happen.
Attraction needs to happen.
It will
yeah,
happen.
I mean, you don't get into it unless until you are attracted. Right?
Or no, actually, that is what I'm trying to say. You can get into it.
You can. Yeah.
You can get into it.
I think that's a myth, right?
without
I
an
think-
attraction. I mean, I'll think about it. Now, suppose if my, I mean, I see a girl who I know, I come to know that she's good, her family background, everything is nice, and then her aspirations, her dreams, she shared everything with me. I mean, we're not attracted to each other, but then we kind of get to know each other. Now, what I'm saying is, whatever it is, it is okay. It is okay to get married to somebody whom you're attracted to. Absolutely fine. I mean, it should be. I mean, it can be. But it is equally okay to get married to somebody whom you're not attracted to now because you don't know much. Because your whole life is remaining for you to get to know each other. It's not just that you know everything about somebody before you get married. That's not possible.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I
Now-
mean, even if you marry,
Attraction will help you actually in the initial
Yeah.
days. If you're attracted to each other, things will come automatically.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we need to talk about the right attraction. See,
Yes.
there is the sensual attraction.
Yeah.
We talked about the sexual
Emotional.
attraction, the sentimental
Sentimental.
attraction. These are two kinds of attraction. But the third kind of attraction is that the attraction knowing that he is a child of God, knowing that he is created in the image and likeness of God. He's a man, he's a woman, he's a precious woman of God, and then he has that value. I mean, so you love that person, not what he has.
Not what he or she can offer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not loving because of some expectations. I'm loving because she is going to be my wife. That's all I think.
Right. So
Yeah.
there is a possibility of getting married to somebody whom you're not attracted now.
Yeah.
But you will get attracted the more you get to know
Yes.
that person, and the more you get. I mean, the moment you'll start loving that person.
Right.
How do you do that? Now, I've chosen in my mind that I'm going to love this person. That means I am now willing to make a gift of myself for the good of the other person, So how do I do that? Now, for that, there's a covenant that we go through called marriage. Okay, so once you decide to get married, there's a promise that you take in front of God, in front of everybody, and there's a covenantal relationship you get into. Is a spiritual covenantal relationship that you get into, and then after marriage, you come. There's a physical union. There the marriage begins, right? It's only there the marriage begins. And then how I live my life for the other. When you live out your life for each other, that's when you begin to love each other, until you're becoming one flesh, and that one flesh becoming a greater reality every day as you grow.
So I'm
Yeah.
just connecting to what you said previously, like in the beginning, that falling in love actually is like choosing to love, and that happens in marriage.
Yes.
Okay. So while you date, there are people who ask, how far is too far in dating? You really want to get to know that person, right?
Yeah.
So there are people, it's like a spectrum. So one extreme is people say no kissing before marriage. Another extreme is let's find out how compatible we are. Let's get physical. Yeah, let's get physical.
That is the dangerous part of it.
Yeah.
I've seen friends, who are basically looking for a potential spouse in matrimonial sites. They are like talking to 2 or 3
girls at the
girls
same
at the
time?
same time.
Oh.
It's difficult actually. I would prefer don't do it actually, right? So it's like it's like you're basically doing a comparison with in Amazon also. It will show similar products. Something doing right. You're just trying which one is better. Like it's not like that. When you looking for a spouse, you focus on one. You get to know if it is not working out, then that chapter is closed. You get a good closure.
Yeah.
Then
But here
move.
you're not telling that matrimonial sites are
Huh?
wrong.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a good tool. Why
Yeah.
not? You should use it actually, right? Yeah.
Right.
So, but the intention of you using to matrimonial sites is not to find somebody who is who can offer you a lifetime of opportunity. No, not like that. It is like I'm finding somebody whom I can give myself to, right? So with right intention, you are entering into, and
Yeah.
then when you say how far is too far in dating,
The
so
boundaries.
the
yeah.
first thing I want to remind again, it's like the problem of attachment, right? So we have to draw a boundary, right? Like if this is not working out, I should make sure that I'm not attached or I'm not giving any false expectations to this other person, right? And it's good practice in matrimonial sites also. It's like when you reject somebody, don't take it into heart that you're not, the other person should not take it into heart that you're not beautiful or you're not enough. Not like that. It is simply not working out.
Yeah,
That is why.
yeah.
So it's good to give a correct answer when somebody is basically interested in you. I've not seen from my own example experience, I would say none of the girls won't respond. They keep remain shut down. There is no response, right? When you won't get any response, you'll be like, oh my god, what's happening, right? But whatever response I have received from girls, if it is not working out, I would say no. When I reject, I will give a response that will help them for them also, right? They can move on to the other person, right? So it's
I think they might also be thinking, I don't want to make them feel bad by saying
Yeah, there
no.
is-
But
there
I think
is, yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
required, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's always.
But then what you
we
say
need
makes
communication,
sense.
right?
You need to clearly communicate to them that
Yeah.
somebody is not pursuing them, so they can look for somebody else. So,
Yeah.
that's
Of
very
course,
important.
yeah.
That's important.
And boundaries, I would say, right? When you start talking, things are working out. When you feel that it's good, I can move ahead. You let your parents know that this is working out.
Right.
Then with the right intention, allowing your parents also to be involved,
Yeah.
go for a kind of a fixation, right? There's a certain.
I would say
Yeah.
keep everything that is erotic,
Yeah.
reserve it for marriage.
Outside, yeah, it should be
Reserve
already
it for marriage.
Reserve it for marriage.
Reserve it for including
Yeah.
a passionate kiss. And, everything needs to be reserved for marriage.
No, if
Nothing.
you are genuinely approaching somebody, then you're not in a hurry actually, right? Are you in a hurry? No. If you are genuinely approaching somebody, you're not in a hurry. I don't need to be, get to know or sexually. I don't need to. Because I'm entering into this with the right intention. I know what will happen in marriage. Marriage is the right context.
This is also because sometimes people define marriage as a license to
Yeah.
have sex.
Yes.
I mean, though sexual intercourse plays a pivotal part of marriage, but it's not just that. It's much, because sexual union is only a foretaste.
Yep.
It's only a sign. When you say a sign, you understand what I'm saying. So
It's pointing to somewhere.
it's like an icon. On your computer, you have, suppose you have Microsoft Word as a program, and then you have an icon, which is Microsoft Word. That actually, when you click on it, it goes into the program. So that means this is an icon, right? We call it the icons, right?
Yeah.
So it leads you, or when you're traveling, so to say, to a place and you see a board, and that board says, say, 50 kilometers. So that board is only a sign, it's not the place. So similarly, sexual union is not the destination. It is only a board. It is only pointing to something much, much, much bigger. That is why some choose to be celibates. You understand? Because this is a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes people are too eager to enter into the sexual act or the erotic feelings and experiment with that, thinking that this is like a license that I have now that I've fixed the marriage, and then I can get. No, wait a minute. Now, this is like you look at the partner as a sex tool. You tend to, but then think about children. Think about families. Think about relationship between two families. Think about
The big picture.
sharing
The big picture.
burdens, and I think there's a big picture. It's not just physical union.
Wherein people say, we need to check the compatibility, we need to get physical about this.
There's this issue of someone unable to trust other person. And that's in the culture now. So we are trying every means to know if this person would treat me well.
Real love waits. Love is patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. So you read Ephesians, Corinthians, you'll understand the traits of love, authentic love. Yeah.